first game away from MSG for the New York Rangers this postseason, and they take care of business with a 3-1 victory over the Washington Capitals in the nation's capital, as the New York Rangers now jump out to a 3-0 series lead, 3 down, 13 to go, just one more until round number 2, which, bearing something crazy and unforeseen, will most likely be against the division rivals, Carolina Hurricanes. So a lot to discuss in today's live stream. As always, if you're popping into the chat, leave any comments, questions down below. Also posted the link if any of you want to call in, share your thoughts on tonight's victory, share your thoughts on the rest of the playoffs, anything happening around the league, Rangers moving forward. Joining me again is Danny. Danny, 3-0 series lead. We said it on Tuesday. It's been a little bit since the Rangers. Wednesday, Tuesday. Right? Tuesday because they went today, Thursday off. We said it. Just take care of business in game 3. This was important. It always feels like the odd games are very important. You didn't want to lose this game, get to 2-1, have to play another one where Capitals have the momentum, have that situation where maybe you lose both in DC, have to go back to DC then for a game 6, but they take care of business. And now there's not much pressure. Even if they lose game 4 on Sunday night, you go back to game 5, which you should be able to take care of business back on home ice. So what are your thoughts on this one and a 3-0 series lead?
Yeah, the 3-0 series lead is beautiful. Love to have that. Like you said, if you lose the next game, it's not a big deal. Just win game 5, then move on from that. It feels good. I think they played good again. They continue to just play great defense and just great performance all around.
Yep. Yeah, the penalty kill was phenomenal again tonight. And I guess we could start with that because the Rangers did suffer a lot of penalties. They suffered 6 penalties tonight. 1 shorthanded goal, which was Barclay Goodrow. So they were 6 for 6 on the PK. You don't like to see all these penalties. Some of it, you want to say the refs, some of it were penalties. But either way, look, they went 6 for 6 on the penalty kill. They got another shorthanded goal. It was Barclay Goodrow, who we've got to give a ton of credit to. I mean, Barclay Goodrow has come out of the middle of nowhere. This was a guy that was awful in the regular season, went months without scoring a goal, and now here he is in the playoffs making a huge impact. And shorthanded goal, I mean, it's great. And he almost had another goal in game 2 when he almost caught Lindgren sleeping. So he's been excellent. The entire bottom 6 really has been excellent. But I guess we could start with that before we get into some of the other stuff in this game, of course. The penalty kill continues to just be a theme. And the Capitals, even though overall in the season their special teams hasn't been very good, post All-Star break, they were one of the best teams on the power play. So second half of the year, they've been much better, but that hasn't been the case here.
Yeah, I thought our penalty kill was excellent. We were almost killing a penalty for an entire period, like 12 minutes of penalty kill. That's insane. But they going +1 on a penalty kill on 6 penalties is crazy. The shorthanded goal was amazing, and then Gaudreau finally living up to his contract. All the fans that were calling for his name, everyone was hating on him in the middle of the season. And I think that might have been Gaudreau's best game as a Ranger so far. That was just excellent from the beginning all the way to the end. And then after they scored, they almost had another 2-on-1, Trocheck and Gaudreau, but that one didn't go. But yeah, I think we had as many shorthanded chances as they did power play chances.
Yeah.
The only thing that on the penalty kill, as I said, they did excellent. That the Capitals' second unit kept getting chances. They would pass it down low and then pass it in front. As long as they just cover that up, I think perfect.
Yeah, it felt like at times the Capitals had a couple of those opportunities on Igor, a couple good forechecks that they had on the power play that set up. They had a couple of those stretches for, a couple minutes where they were able to apply some good, consistent pressure. But other than that, I mean, they were empty-handed. It's almost like when they were on the power play, it was a power play for the Rangers. And obviously special teams has been a very common theme for the Rangers. Last year, we know how big the power play was when they didn't score on the power play. They didn't win. This year, feels like it's just shorthanded goals. That's what they do right now. So, yeah, special teams has been huge. We knew going into this series that was going to be an X factor. Now, while that is a positive, the 6 penalties is a lot. And unfortunately, as you move on, you're going to get these teams are going to start to capitalize on those. And with those penalties, you see some of, these top guys not get a whole lot of playing time early on. I think Panarin only logged, 3 minutes in the first period or something like that.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. So for those guys to try and get into the rhythm of the game, especially a guy like Panarin, who we know the playoff success really hasn't been there. I don't know. Panarin, I thought tonight he's missing wide. Like his shots aren't they're going wide. But do you think it's the penalty? Do you think some of these penalties are more refs? Do you think they're just dumb plays? It's been, I know it's kind of been mixed. It's been a mixed bag, I guess. But I mean, Rempe, he's still learning, but he takes penalties. That's kind of what he does. He had the Gustafson slash. To be honest with you, I forget some of the other ones. There were 6. I forget all of them right off the top of the dome.
No, yeah. So going back to the penalties, just going back to game 2. That the Panarin hit on Oshie, everyone on Twitter that's not a Rangers fan, not everyone, but most people saying that's dirty. Fucking Paul Nasty saying that's a
Yeah.
spin right there.
Yeah.
I thought it was clean. And then even Oshie, who took the
Yeah.
it's clean. Like some of these fans of other teams just like it's so clear that they just don't like the Rangers. Like it's embarrassing. But tonight, I think some of them were clear penalties. Like the Wenberg one was a can opener, that clear penalty. That Rempe penalty, I thought that was clean as day. I thought that he didn't have the puck, but he was already going towards him. It was probably like half a second after he got rid of it. The Tom Wilson hit in game 1 was probably way later than that was.
Yeah.
The slash on Gustafson, such a weak call. Like this is the playoffs. Like you can't call that. But yeah, I think it was a little mixed of the refs and just stupid plays. But yeah, if they're going to take that many penalties against Carolina, if that's who we play, which we're going to, they'll kill us. They have like the second or third best power play in the league, maybe first. They'll destroy us on the special teams. So yeah, got to clean that up.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Carolina. That they had in the regular season they were 26.9% on the power play, which was only second behind the Lightning, and of course sandwich in between the Rangers, who were third, just I think 0.5% behind them at 26.4. So two teams that are obviously lethal on the power play that we'll see again bearing something crazy where the Capitals come back from down 3-0 and the Islanders come back from down 3-0. If that happens, I don't know. I can't guarantee the podcast will be continuing if that happens, if they fall down and blow a 3-0 series lead here against the Capitals, who, by the way, with Van Riemsdyk going down, they were down to 5 defensemen in this game.
Yeah, and
so
then halfway through the second, I think it was Ferravari. He also got hurt, so they were down to 4 for at least 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, they're banged up. Yeah, the one goal from Carlson, which was like a knuckleball for Igor.
Yeah,
so I guess we could kind of get into that now. The goal scorers. We'll start with that first one, and then just go down the line. This was, we talked about it a little bit off air. You made the point of it felt like this might be one of those games where Igor was just going to be a tick off, which he's been very good this playoffs. But was this going to be a game where he was going to kind of not take the night off? But obviously you were the one that mentioned it. What was your impression on that? I actually watched the MSG broadcast today because for some reason I turned on the TNT broadcast and it was like a minute behind. I don't know why. And like when the Carlson goal went in, I got the update on my phone that went in like a minute prior. So I switched over to MSG, and Lundqvist actually had a pretty good insight on the goal from Carlson, how it kind of fooled Igor. But immediate reaction, it was like, that is not good. That wasn't screened. It was like, it was weird. It kind of just like came on him quick a little bit.
Yeah, so at first glance, like in normal time, it just looked terrible. Like it looked like so bad. I didn't see like the knuckleball kind of shot. I didn't see that it dropped like that. Then the slow mo, like I could see why it went in, but that just a weak goal to give up, especially like on the road in the playoffs, first goal of the game. Yeah, like I said, there's been times where Igor, not recently, but Igor will give up a bad goal in the beginning, and then later in the game, these glove saves that he usually makes, they're popping out to the front, and he's just sloppy. So I was a little nervous that it would be a game like that, but yeah, he shut us all up after that, and he played one of the best games I've seen him play in a while. But I think I think he played great.
Do you think it was, I would say it was, in my opinion, I thought this was probably the best of the series from him.
Oh, 100%. Well, the
Yeah.
first game, you couldn't even really give him a rating. Like he maybe
Yeah,
had
he
one or
barely had to
two
work.
chances that
Yeah.
he saved. Like that wasn't even tested. The goal was like a deflection off a skate.
Mhm.
But yeah, he definitely played great today. Excellent.
Yeah, you know what else was interesting about that goal was the Rangers surprisingly, like we mentioned this at the end of last episode, and even game two, the Capitals were the more desperate team. They were down 1-0, looking to split on the road going back to DC. They were very good for the first 10 minutes. Today, the Rangers dominated really the first 5 to 10 minutes. They played really well, and it was kind of weird when Carlson scored because the Rangers were the better team. And then 34 seconds later, you get the Kreider goal on the tip in. And then you get the Gaudreau shorthanded goal, which we talked about. Kreider continues to put his name up there for most playoff goals in Rangers history. He'll end up definitely in the rafters one day. It was Mika tip into Kreider. That hasn't really been there, so it was good to see. Thoughts on that and the Rangers kind of breaking through there with 2 goals in a span of 2 minutes and 34 seconds after the knuckleball that got past Igor.
Yeah. So I think that goal, the Kreider goal being 34 seconds after the goal that Igor gave up was huge because
Mhm.
you score right back. You score right there. It gets 1-1 so quickly. Igor basically forgets about that. Then at the commercial break, everyone
Yeah.
comes up to him, gives him a hit on the pads, and as we saw, it shook it off. Played great. But yeah, the I've never seen a guy that good at tipping the puck. It's
Yeah.
just a thing of beauty. Um, Mika, he tough regular season, but wow, he showed up so far, which is exactly what we needed. That first
Yeah.
line, like I see Joe Albanese in the chat. Me and him would go back and
Yeah.
forth trashing
Uncle.
the first line during the season.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they've showed up, which is what we needed. And I know Joe, not this Joe, the other Joe, hates Roslovic, wants him off when
Yeah.
Heedle comes back. I thought Roslovic played decent
I
today.
thought he played well tonight
He
too.
he he had a lot of speed. He almost had a one timer in the beginning of the game
Yeah.
from like the goal line. I thought he played great today, but yeah, that goal and then the shorthanded goal that was just, Trocheck on those 2-on-1s. His passing is just elite. Like
Yeah.
some of his passing like on around the zone on the power play, it gets a little shaky, but his 2-on-1 passing is a thing of beauty. And yeah, Gaudreau, I don't know where it came from, but
I don't know.
ever since that Red Wings game where he scored 2 goals, he's been unreal.
Yeah. He's been I'm shocked. I mean,
Yeah,
we joked about it during the season that he was going to score like the first goal of the playoffs because he hasn't scored all year and then or had scored 1 goal in that Dallas game back
yeah.
in before Thanksgiving, I believe it was.
Mhm.
So he went all that time without scoring and then it was the Arizona game that I think broke it, was it?
Yeah, I think it was
Or
either yeah, I think it was the Arizona game, and then the
yeah.
Detroit game was a few days later.
Yeah. Yeah. Um so yeah, you had all that going his way towards the end there, and obviously he's broken out. But yeah, I thought Roslovic looked good. He kind of disappeared towards the end of the regular season, but the speed, his skating, I think he actually logged. I believe might have been the first shot for the Rangers today. He's, I thought he looked good. I think Roslovic's playing well. I don't know. Again, we talked about this last episode. I think that they're just going to keep rolling with this for now. Maybe they see with Rempe's penalties, I know they're not great calls, but do they take him out instead for Heedle? It's interesting now. I think you kind. I mean, look, they're up 3-0. I mean, they're playing well.
Yeah, I don't think you could take out Rempe right now. He
Yeah,
like those penalties were two of the first game and this game those were just not penalties. The second game 100% a penalty, but his presence on like these defensemen when they have the puck deep and they see him coming, they're so scared to get hit and they just get rid of it. His presence is big. Even though he doesn't play in the third period most of the game, most of the games, yeah, we definitely need to keep him. I don't see why they need to bring Heedle back yet. We're up 3-0. If it gets to 3-2, God forbid, then you definitely bring him in. But right now, I don't see why you change this lineup.
yeah. If it's not broke, don't fix it, as I guess they always say. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's been. Hey, look, they're playing really well and they're taking care of business. They're not. I mean, other than the one stressful final 2 minutes, I guess in game two, they're not. These aren't games that are close. These aren't games that they're kind of taking their opponents lightly. They're doing exactly what they need to do, 4 or 5 games, and they'll be out of here onto Carolina. And in second period, of course, you had the Trocheck goal on the power play. Was a really nice play by Trocheck cutting to the net. nice pass from Mika, so they get a power play there. Thoughts on that one? I guess sometimes that would probably be to Kreider kind of cut into the net, but this time it was Vinny T.
Yeah, that was the excellent give and go.
Yeah,
Like you said, usually that's Mika hitting Kreider there on the stride, but great pass. Mika's passing has been unreal. Like in the beginning of the regular season, in the middle of the season, he forces so many passes
yeah,
instead of shooting or just waiting and settling it and then making the pass. But
yeah.
his passing has been insane. I think it's 9 games maybe in a row now that Mika has an assist. I could be wrong on that. Maybe 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. But yeah, he that was an excellent pass.
Yeah, he's been great. I think it's I could check now. I know. I mean, he's had a very good postseason. I it's kind of weird to think. Sometimes guys play poorly in the regular season and come out and they naturally play really well, but in the postseason. But he's got through the 3 games so far, 4 assists, 1 goal, 5 points total. Yeah, the last time he didn't have an assist was April 3rd against the Devils. I believe that was the fight night. I
Yeah,
believe that was
yeah,
the
I
line
think
ball
so.
game. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
4-3.
been a
Yeah,
minute. Let's see a couple comments here from Joe. Roslovic needed to fire that 2-on-1 with Kreider.
I agree.
Is that yeah?
That was in the beginning of the game where that was where
Mhm.
he ended up getting that one timer. But yeah, it was a 2-on-1 when he backhanded that and Kreider had to go back for it a little. Yeah, I agree. He's got to rip that. But I guess it ended up in a good chance. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What we got? Laffy.
Laffy point
Character.
per game, Goodrow point per game. Yeah, that
Yeah.
Goodrow point per
Yeah.
game
What is
after three
Gaudreau
3 points. What is it? 3 or 4 points now?
for Laffy or Gaudreau?
Goodrow. I know Laffy's got 3.
Gaudreau is, I believe Gaudreau's at 3 as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he had 2 assists in game 1. I don't think he had any
yeah,
points
yeah.
in
I
game
don't think.
2.
Yeah, but yeah, three points in 3 games for Goodrow is not something I could have
No.
predicted, but love to see that.
Yeah, I mean he went. Yeah. Hey, he's been great. The bottom 6 as a whole has been very good.
Yeah, that's what you need in the playoffs. You need guys like that stepping up.
Yep.
When guys like Panarin are getting only 1 point in 3 games, you need guys like that, and it's exactly what they got.
Yeah, what have been your thoughts on Panarin? Game 1 he had the goal. I just feel like I don't know, he had some chances today. He's just they're shooting him wide, I feel like.
Yeah, I I know Joe Albanese is not going to like this one, but he came at me after the game because I said Panarin had a terrible game. But yeah, today it was tough to grade him because he played 3 minutes in the first. There were so many penalties. His ice
Yeah.
time was all messed up, and I know I haven't played in the NHL, but when you're
Yeah.
not killing when you're not killing, and then you're on the bench for 6 minutes in a row, and then you go out there, your legs are cold, and from my experience, but yeah, um, I think that definitely messes up your game a little, and it was just tough for him to get back into the game after that. From what I've seen, like he was moving a little slow. Like, he was possessing the puck, but he was missing the shots, like you said, and that's not like him.
Yeah.
He's been so accurate this year, sniping 49 goals. But yeah, I think he's been okay. But the fact that we're playing this good with probably our best player playing like that is
Yeah.
good sign.
Yeah, I thought today was much better than game 2. At game 2, we talked about a lot. He was trying to be too fancy. He
Yeah.
had the 2 game 1 he had the ankle breaker, and game 2 he kind of had the ankle breaker, but it was too fancy, wasn't shooting. Today at least he was shooting.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming Joe is a very big Panarin guy. He does not like to criticize him, I'm assuming.
No, yeah, he likes Panarin.
Likes Panarin. I like him too. I'm actually repping the Panarin jersey right now, but I just like to see some of those go in the back of the net. I think
Yeah.
after 49 goals, you would like to see him. I mean, ideally, you'd love to see him be like a point per game guy in the playoffs, but right now, I mean, you're getting that production from Gaudreau, so
Mm.
we don't need Panarin. Panarin can take a backseat for now.
Yeah.
If you guys have any other comments, you drop them in the comment section down below. Joe might join us, or the other Joe, because there's 2 Joes. He might join us here in a little bit. Third period was a lot less stressful. It was kind of, you said it all fair. It was pretty boring. It was kind of
Yeah.
one of those things where halfway through you're like, all right, just end this already.
Mhm.
Third period, I mean, any thoughts on that? Obviously, I would take that over, take that over
What happened
last
in
game
game
where
2? Yeah.
final 2 minutes you were kind of sweating it out a little bit.
Yeah, game 2, after they scored that goal to make it 3-2, I was shitting my pants for 15 minutes. Like, they were getting so many chances, and it's
Yep.
a little nerve-wracking. I don't know why. After we killed, I know we had 30 seconds going into the period, they had a penalty, but then we took another penalty, killed that. It just felt like this game was already over. They weren't getting
Yeah.
that big of chances. They had one where Tom Wilson was in front. Igor made a huge save, but yeah, that game just felt over like 15 minutes left. And then they take a penalty with 4 minutes left to basically ice the game. They couldn't even pull the goalie till there's 45 seconds left. We had I think the Rangers had 0 shots with 3 or 4 minutes left in the third period, which I guess not ideal. But if you're stopping them, doesn't matter.
Igor almost had a goal.
Oh my
Almost
god.
had it. That was going in.
Yeah,
I
that
think
no,
it
yeah,
was
that's going
Ovi,
in.
right? I think it was
It
Ovi.
was either Ovi or Carlson that
It was one
jumped
of the
and
two. Yeah,
stopped it.
might have been Carlson.
My heart like stopped for a second. That would
That
have
would have been
been
it.
a thing.
Playoff
Oh
goal
my
for
god.
Igor.
That would
Just
have
end the
been,
series there.
yeah,
He was
I
so.
wish.
I think that was going in.
Oh no, it was definitely on. It was definitely online, but
Yeah.
he's had a bunch of like in his career
Yeah.
in the last I think he started doing it in the last like 3 years where he shoots them and they're all online. It's just they won't let him get it.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
shoots
He's
a
had.
little too high. He's got to keep it down and just harder.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a. I mean, he's great with it. I mean, he's
Yeah,
great with those
yeah,
like outlet passes. He's obviously been excellent. And just on the note of Igor, just back to I know you mentioned earlier, and it was a good point, how the Rangers scored 34 seconds afterwards, had his back, were backing him up. They scored then 2 minutes after that with the Gaudreau shorthanded on when Cap Washington was obviously on the power play. It's nice to finally see this team really be able to um, give some, I guess, insurance to their goaltender, be able to bounce back for the goaltender for many years now. For a lot of those Lundqvist years, they kind of at times just left them out to dry. And even at times with Igor, where he would put this team on the back, they wouldn't be scoring, they wouldn't be getting many offensive chances. But that's really not the case with this team, and it's been great to see their ability to bounce back, their ability to come back in games, even when Igor's having an off night. They have the ability to, you know, go out there and score 4 or 5 goals and pick up a win. I mean, that's been great to see. So especially obviously here in the playoffs, where early goal on the road, it's good to see them kind of allow him to build up a little bit of confidence. So,
yeah. And the going off that, so last year it was basically
mhm,
just sit back, let Igor
yeah,
do all the work, and that eventually tired out. Like we weren't even testing the Devils goalies, which killed us. But
no,
I still blame that on the coach, on the old coach. But yeah, they're not just relying on Igor every game. They're actually creating chances, which is probably the first time in the last 3 years. Like when we made the conference final, I still think they were so heavily reliant, just sitting back and
yeah,
wait on Igor. Like that game
mhm,
1 versus the Hurricanes, where we scored, where I think it was Hedel scored in like the first like 7 minutes. Then we
yeah,
just
and that
parked
was
the
it.
bus for like the entire game until they tied
And
it.
yeah, and what they scored with like 2 minutes left or
Yeah, and
something.
then Lindgren tipped in our own shot on overtime. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it was games like that where we were just, and with honestly most of the Hank era, we just like heavily relied
yeah.
on the goalie. But yeah, Igor's been amazing, but we're not so heavily reliant on his performance where it just feels different, feels nice.
Yeah, that first game against Carolina, I remember I thought the series was over after
Oh,
that because it
100%.
was
So did
just
I.
so deflating. And it was like Carolina never lost games at home. That because what they won all of them at home against Boston. And then for a while there, that series was all home teams won until game 7.
Yeah.
But it was like they had a chance to steal game 7. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's irrelevant at this point. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
been great to see. They're not sitting back. They're not letting him do all the work, having him, have to dominate. They're giving him cushion. They're bouncing back after some of his
And
goals allowed.
we finally after 3 series broke the 2-0 curse. Didn't go up
Yeah.
2-0 and lose the rest,
Yeah.
which we
Yeah.
needed.
That is very true. Finally.
Yeah,
Not
that's it.
a
I saw a
not a
lot of
repeat of
other
last
teams
year.
I saw a lot of Devils and Islanders fans on Twitter saying, "Oh, remember the last time you guys went up 2-0?" So it felt good to shut
Yeah.
them up.
Yeah, definitely. Um I know I was trying to think. Last time Rangers swept the playoff series.
Yeah, we talked about this last time. I don't even remember.
Game 5, 5-game series I know is the Pittsburgh,
Yeah, the haggle
which
in overtime. Yeah,
I I can't even tell you the
I'm gonna
last
look at
time
it.
they swept.
I'm gonna go look.
Yeah, I'm looking now. I went on to Stat Moose, but I can't find anything. Last time they swept the playoff series, it's got to be a minute. Um, hmm.
I off of recent memory, it's definitely not
No,
recent.
no,
Definitely not
yeah.
recent. Because I feel like in the 2010s, like every series with Philly, Washington, Pittsburgh was going 6 or 7 every time.
Wasn't 90? Didn't 94? I mean, I don't know.
There's been
I
so
don't
many
know. Didn't
94
90?
comparisons of getting a little nervous. This, yeah,
Yeah,
94
yeah,
there
that
was a
is true.
sweep. We swept
Yeah,
the
well, didn't they sweep
Islanders.
the Isles? Yeah, in the first round. I don't know if that
Oh
was
wait,
the
here we
last
go.
one though.
In 2006 we swept the Thrashers.
The Atlanta Thrashers. Bring them back.
I think that was our most recent sweep.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is. It
Because I
is.
know, yeah, 94 they swept the Isles, but I didn't know if that was the most recent. Yeah, it is weird. Everything's lining up.
Besides
Nets,
those two,
Knicks.
yeah, besides those two sweeps though, it's been a while. Well,
Yeah,
94 has been 30 years, so I guess that's a
yeah.
while.
Been
But
too
yeah, there's
long.
so many comparisons to the 94. It's getting a
Even
little
what
scary.
even what the OJ Simpson stuff, right? Too
Yeah, the
is in
OJ, the Knicks,
yeah, the Nets, or not the Nets, the Rangers.
yeah.
Nobody cares about the Nets.
Yeah.
Um yeah, it's it's been crazy to kind of see all these comparisons. I mean, I guess
Mhm.
history repeats itself, but I don't know,
Let's hope.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Um I guess we can go around the league here. Joe might join us, but if not, we'll go for a couple more minutes. If you guys have any other questions, you could drop them in the comments down below. This was Joe earlier. His shots need to hit the net. I'm assuming that's
Yeah, it's been
Panarin.
there. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Definitely agree with that.
yeah. Hopefully, those start hitting the net more often than not. But again, I did like the fact that he was shooting more today. I thought game 2 he got more into his old style where he was fancy, being too cute, not shooting. Today, at least he was shooting, but they'll start to fall. Hopefully, hopefully when they matter most. Maybe he's got another game 7 goal in his pocket like he did in 2022 at
Mhm.
some point in this playoffs. Um, any thoughts on what's going else around the league? Obviously, Florida Tampa, that was looking like a great series, but it's looking like Florida's gonna. I don't know. Tampa. I mean, look, it's a 3-0 series lead. The chances of Tampa coming back are slim to none. Tampa might win one game. They might win game 4 on home ice, but other than that, Florida, they look as good as advertised.
Yeah, yeah, we can go series by series. We'll start here. Florida was definitely the team coming in that scared me the most in the NHL. I think when we played them during the season, every game was great game. But yeah,
Yeah,
they're a different breed in the playoffs. Like last year, they look insane. This year, they look almost as good, even if not better. I thought Tampa was going to give them a good run for their money. I guess that's not going to happen. I think that series will be done in 4. It's I wish all these other Eastern series were going longer, so all these teams could get beaten down, because that's whenever the Rangers would get in series like that, they'd go 7, then they'd go 7 again, and then they're already gassed like in 2022.
yeah.
But of course, the one time we get the 1 seed in the recent years, all these other series are getting swept. So, but yeah, I don't see that series going more than 5.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking to see. Tampa's been such a consistent team, deep playoff runs recently. Of course, you got the 2 back-to-back Stanley Cups. It's kind of surprised to just see them get ran over the way they've been, but I also think it's a reminder that some people may, I don't know if slept on's the right word, but I think some people may have kind of lost sight of how good Florida really is, and
Hmm.
they've been great. Now, Nashville lost to the
Vancouver.
Canucks, who of course are
Yeah.
without Thatcher Demko. We talked about it a little bit off air. Casey DeSmith's in. You know what's crazy is I didn't look at some of the numbers exactly in this game. Vancouver had 12 shots on goals and they won this game.
12.
They had 12
What were
shots on goal.
Nashville shots?
31.
Wow.
Casey
Was it?
DeSmith
And it was 2
balled
nothing.
out. 2-1.
Oh, so
Nashville
then
scored.
who scored that?
Nashville scored late in the third.
Do you know who scored?
Um, Let me see.
Wow, that's great. 31-12.
Evangelista Luke
Oh wow,
Evander,
yeah,
the least I think his name is.
yeah,
Yeah, he
3-2-1 at
scored.
home,
Yeah, it was
31-12.
5-on-5.
That is that is tough. But I
Yeah,
honestly,
especially for
if Demko's
Saros.
out,
God, that's
if
bad.
if Demko's out for the series, I still think Nashville wins. I think if
Then
they,
they'll come back.
yeah, I think they'll win next game. Then I think the next 2 games maybe it'll be a split, and then I don't know. I think Nashville's a very good team. Ever since it's such a
Yeah,
funny story. Ever since they got that U2 concert they got shut out of in Vegas, they went on like a 19-game winning streak or a 17
yeah,
0 and 2 and run or
something
something.
like that.
That is it's just hilarious.
I can't believe they only logged 12 shots and won.
Yeah, that and I feel like the
That
Canucks
is.
usually are like shooting a lot. Like I feel like they have guys that just pull from anywhere, like Besser, Pedersen,
Yeah,
Quinn Hughes rips a
yeah,
lot from the point.
yeah. Besser, they were two power plays. Miller had a power play in the first. Besser had a power play in the second. Fantasy hockey legend for me. Brock Besser picked him up a couple years ago, not this year, but yeah. So they win on 12 shots,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's playoff hockey. Saros allows 2 goals on 10, 12 shots. So it's not great, but both power plays. So Vancouver takes a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 will, of course, be back in Nashville. Um, let's see. Where do we want to go next? I guess we can go.
You
Why
want to
not?
talk
Games
about
happen.
the Avalanche because
Yeah,
they just scored right as I
I was
said
gonna say
that.
that game's happening right now. They
Yeah,
did.
Zach Parise, old hag, just scored. He scored last game. He was the second oldest Avalanche player to ever score in the playoffs. I didn't even know he
Yeah.
was still in the league. Honestly, I completely forgot. He's been on so many teams in the last like 5-6 years, but
Yeah.
good to see him going. I guess.
You think this series goes this? You think this series goes the length? Goes the
No,
distance?
Colorado is so like home dependent. Like I think they're like very bad on the
Yeah.
road from what I've seen. I'm pretty sure they're under 500 by like 2 or 3 games, and then at home they're just a monster. But yeah, if split giving up one, Winnipeg giving up one on at home, so it was 1-1, and then now I think um, the Avalanche. I think the Avalanche will win this game. I think they'll win the next game. I think they'll be up 3-1 going to Vancouver or not Vancouver, Winnipeg. I don't know what is going on with Hellebuck in the so far. Like he played
Yeah.
amazing the whole year. Probably going to win he should win the Vezina. And 6 goals in the first game. I
Yeah.
don't know what
And
happened
what
to
he
him.
followed it up with 4 in game
Yeah,
2 because I
4, and
think
then they
one of
got an
them
empty
was
netter.
empty net. Yeah.
Yeah,
Georgiev bounced back, the Rangers legend.
yeah, yeah.
He had what
Personally,
7
I
in game 1.
personally I hate Yuriev.
Yeah.
That ever since that playoff game in Pittsburgh where he came in, we were down
Yeah.
4-1, tied at 4-4, and then gives up a goal from like basically a pass on net. That I just never liked the guy after that.
It
Except
is
when he punched
crazy.
D'Angelo, that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. That series was nuts. That
Mhm.
Pittsburgh series, Igor getting benched. Georgiev comes in, come back.
Yeah, that was just a weird series.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So, yeah, the Av series it's interesting, but Georgiev seems to be bouncing back. Hellebuck, not so much. I mean,
Eh,
what that's 10 goals in 2 games. That's now
yeah,
11 and 3
11 and
plus
3.
whatever else happens.
Yeah,
So
I feel like Winnipeg in the past, like the past couple of years, they're good, but like they're not deep. I feel like this year they're finally like a deep team, good team. Like Morrissey, Connor, Adam Lowry, Nikolai Ehlers. Like they're a really good team. It's just I don't know. I just don't see it.
yeah, it feels like Colorado is. I don't know. Colorado's always a force. I mean, well, you
Yeah,
had the
when you got
yeah,
McKinnon, you're always
yeah,
gonna be there.
McKinnon, McCarr, they're all monsters. Obviously, I think it's weird with Colorado. I mean, they won a Stanley Cup with Darcy Kemper, and now they might win a Stanley Cup with Alexander Georgiev. So it's interesting. Goaltending is huge, but I mean, Darcy Kemper right now sitting the bench as his team's about to get swept. He lost the starting job to Charlie Lindgren. So
Yeah.
kind of weird. They've taken care of business, but they haven't done it from stellar goaltending. I
Hmm.
mean, Alexander Georgiev is not exactly a Vesna Trophy candidate, I would say.
I wouldn't even say he's at number one on most teams.
Yeah, that is true. Playoff team, definitely not. But here
No.
he is.
Yeah. I don't know how far they'll get with him. I know their backup. I don't know how to say his name. Like something like that.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna
He was
attempt.
okay at the end of the season, but then he was sick. So I think he would have played game 2, but he was sick. But Georgiev played good. I just with how bad they are on the road and just Georgiev being himself, I don't see them
Yeah.
getting past round 2. Who would they play if they win? Is that the Vancouver series?
The
Oh no, I think it's the night.
Colorado. I think it's Vegas, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
Vegas for
Vegas,
the
Dallas.
Stars, which is probably going to be Vegas.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
disappointed in that series. Here we go, Dallas again. I mean, at what point do you start looking at the coach and say,
I,
"Can he get over the top?"
I don't know. I really thought they were going to win that series,
Yeah,
or at least give it a fight. Like obviously it's only 2-0, so you don't know. Like the Rangers went up 2-0 on the road last year, and we
yeah,
all know what happened.
exactly.
But the Stars, like when we played the Stars, they whether it's at MSG or in Dallas, like they always play us so good. Not even just us, everywhere around the league. I probably watched most of their games this year. They're such a good deep team. Like they got fourth liners, third liners, like Logan Stankoven. Like they, they're so deep. They're probably the deepest team in the playoffs, in my opinion. And it's probably gonna be a first round exit, which is crazy. But yeah, if Vegas is gonna cheat like that, then you can't really do anything. They're doing what Tampa
Yeah,
did in 2020 and
yeah,
2021. Like I guess it's not cheating, but they got to figure out a way to around. Like they got to figure out a way to patch that. Like
yeah.
Stone,
You know
I think
what's
it's what is it 3 years in a row that Stone has gone on the LTIR with an injury, and then
yeah, and
he's come back first game of
what he
the playoffs
scored the
somehow
first game,
healthy.
first
Yeah,
goal, I
first
think, right?
first goal like a minute into the game. Like that's ridiculous. Like
Yeah, it's all part of
insane.
the
And
script.
then the, their ability to get Hurdle and
I
Hannafin
know Hurdle
just because they
was,
did that. Like,
yeah,
and they both had
and then
points. They
and then
both had
Hurdle was on
points.
IR too, I think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
And they both had also had points game 1, and I think Hannafin scored again in game 2, which is like, but their goaltending last year, Aiden Hill just stood on his head. I
yeah.
think Logan Thompson's starting now. If their goaltending stands like they did last year, I think they might make the finals again, which scares me a little. But yeah, I think they're gonna win that series.
Oh, Vegas,
Probably in 5 or
Vegas
6.
Rangers, Vegas Rangers final.
That would scare me.
That would.
I don't like matching up against them.
Who would be like? I know we don't want to get too cocky because it is only 3 games, and we still got to get through second round. Still got to get through one more game
Yeah,
here.
one more game.
But it's what team scares you the most? Vegas in the West?
So in the West or
Yeah,
just in the NHL?
yeah. Like if we for a cup, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Why not? It's Friday night. Let's get excited here.
Yeah, definitely Vegas. Like whoever wins that Vegas series, which either of them. Like the Stars scared me going in. Now the Vegas
Yeah,
scares me because they're going to beat them. Um, and then I guess we can move on to the other teams. Edmonton,
yeah.
they don't scare me at all.
Nah, Stuart
Their
Skinner
goaltending is
is
so
terrible.
bad. Like Stuart Skinner, their backup. If Stuart Skinner starts playing bad, Calvin Pickard, that guy, he's like a beer league goalie. He's so
Yeah,
bad too. Their defense doesn't help. Like Cody Cece, that guy is terrible. He had an empty net, wide open backdoor goal last game and shot it backwards into the goalie's back. Like
well,
it's
Ryan
literally
Strome impression.
yeah, it's literally just McDavid, Hyman. Bouchard's really good on their power play. He's one of the best power play defensemen in
Yeah,
the league. But they got like 5 or 6 guys. I don't think their depth is very good. Then the Kings, they don't scare me at all either.
no.
But Cam
They
Talbot,
man, they might.
Cam Talbot, like he was good for us. He does not scare me.
Yeah,
He lets in so many like squeaky goals. Like they have a decent team. Like Kopitar, Adrian Kempe is very good, but
yeah.
they don't scare me. Neither of those teams scare me.
Yeah, Edmonton's in a weird spot. You know, they've all these years going to the playoffs. The goaltending's always been an issue. You got the
Such high
McDavid.
expectations too.
Exactly. Yep. Of course, McDavid, Draisaitl. I mean, they are dominant. I mean, on paper, they're stacked every year, but at what point does you just say like this core's not going to get it done? I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of it's goaltending, I feel, but they're not. I mean, they're
like
Stuart
that one
Skinner's
year,
stinks.
was it 2022, I think, where they played the Avalanche and got swept in the conference final.
I believe.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because the Avalanche,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the year
Yeah,
they
they
won.
won it that year. Yeah. Yeah, the
They
Rangers
didn't
won
even
it.
stand a chance with that goal. I think Mike Smith was playing that series. I think him and Skinner might have like swapped. They were like
Yeah, I think so.
they can't catch a break getting the goalie. I don't know why they sign these other players like and not spend the money on the goalie. Like it's clearly the goalie and the back end that's killing them. I think the biggest problem with them right now, though, Darnell Nurse making what 9.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
He that is the worst contract in the NHL
Yeah.
by far. He is like I think I've watched more than half of the Oilers games this year just because I like watching McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
He he's one of the worst defensemen I've ever seen, and 9.5 million for him is insane.
Yeah. I mean, what if they lose? What they fell knocked out second round last year,
Yeah,
then they would be first round this year. They were conference
they're
first
just
round,
going
so they would go
backwards. They're just
yeah
going
going
a step
backwards. Yeah,
backwards each year. It's like the
and then
Bills.
qualifying round, which I don't know if that really counts. I mean, that was the
No,
COVID year,
yeah,
but
that doesn't count. But yeah, they gotta if they don't make it past the I don't even know if they'll make it past the first round. We'll see tonight. But
yeah.
if they don't make it to the at least the conference finals, they gotta blow it up.
Yeah, I think one thing the Kings have in their advantage is they're playing pretty loose.
Yeah.
They got exactly what they wanted. They went to Edmonton, split 1-2, especially after the way game one went, where you lose 7-4, you get blown out. To come back, win that game in overtime, you now go home. They've got no pressure on them. The Kings are kind of in the early stages of getting back into it. Young, still a good mix of some younger and veteran guys,
Mhm.
but Edmonton is a team that you cannot afford another first round or even second round for that matter. It feels like maybe second round, but I mean, it feels like they're kind of a team that you got to get to the conference final from
Mhm.
a fan perspective, I guess. If you kind of similar to Rangers, I wouldn't be satisfied with anything at least the conference final in my eyes, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
And going off that, Edmonton, if they win that series, I think they'll beat whoever they play next. I think it's Vancouver or
Yeah,
Nashville. I think they'll
yeah,
beat either of those. If LA wins and Nashville wins, I think Nashville will beat them. I don't see Vancouver. If Vancouver somehow beats Nashville, I don't see them making it past the second round. Vancouver, like I don't know, something about them just doesn't scare me at all.
yeah. They're, I mean, they're kind of. I mean, I guess technically you can go ahead and say the Capitals would be playing with the most house money, but Vancouver's
Yeah.
kind of a team playing with house money. Weren't expected to be here. We're a dumpster fire a year ago. Got things going in the right direction, and kind of a team that still feels like they're probably a year or two away.
Hmm.
Um, but a Kings Vancouver series would be interesting.
That yeah, no, I haven't seen one prediction where someone had the Kings beating the Oilers, which
Yeah,
usually when that happens, that means the
yeah,
Kings are going to win.
yeah,
But like the Spit and Chicklets, all eight of them picked the King or the Oilers. They even had two Capitals predictions, but I think that's just because the Rangers hate.
yeah. Just
Like
because, yeah,
all the
there's
predictions from analysts that I've seen are just Oilers, Oilers, Oilers. And I don't know. I think last year they went seven. They played, or maybe less than that. The year before, maybe they went seven. But they've played 3 years in a row. Game tonight will be huge.
yep,
But yeah, the only team that scares me in the West is the winner of that Star Series.
yeah.
The East, on the other
So,
hand, it's a bunch of
mm,
teams that scare me.
yeah, yeah. You got Carolina. You got Boston series getting interesting. Florida, of course. Maybe the Islanders make a comeback and they never lose again.
Yeah,
Um, Thoughts on Panarin tonight? Yeah, we mentioned a little bit earlier. Better, I thought better than game two, just because he was shooting. But
still not great.
as the other Joe put earlier, his shots need to hit the net. So they're not hitting the net right now. They're all going wide. Not great. Um, but I thought he was better than turning the puck over, being too fancy, which is what we've seen a lot of Panarin. But still, I mean, for scoring 49 goals, he's got one goal through 3 games. He hasn't applied a whole lot of pressure. He hasn't been very close. So could be a lot better. And then why not? Football question. Thoughts on Fashanu and Corley? I love it. I like what the Jets have done so far.
I love it too. And one thing to say about Fashan, Joe he was pissed. Like I thought it was such a great
Really?
pick. I think it was the smart pick. I wanted Bowers, but
Yeah.
and anyone's gonna want the flashy tight end.
Yeah.
I think it's such a smart pick. I think he should. I don't know if he should start this year, but the Jets are just someone's gonna get hurt on that O line. It's the Jets. Someone's gonna get
Yeah.
hurt. So
Yeah.
I think it was one sack his entire college career playing in the Big Ten
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
insane. And Corley,
Yeah.
I weirdly enough, I've watched a bunch of Western Kentucky games. Don't
Yeah.
ask why, but he he is a stud.
Yeah.
And as a wide receiver 3, probably not. He's not going to start as a wide receiver 3. Maybe he'll ease into that. As long as Williams stays healthy, I think our wide receiver core is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I wanted a Dunze, so I was
So
bummed
yeah,
to
so did I.
see him go. Jets probably could have traded up with Atlanta. I don't know what the heck Atlanta's
Well,
doing.
I was
They got
no, I was agreeing with.
panics.
I said the same thing, and then I saw a report that I think 4 teams. I think it was the Vikings, the Raiders, the Broncos, and someone else were all trying to trade up to 8,
8, yeah.
and they just weren't. So there's no way we would have offered something better than what they
Yeah.
were. So that's what I wanted. I think maybe we could have traded up to 7, but there was probably teams
Yeah.
paying more for that. And once it got to 9, I knew the Bears were taking a Dunze, which was
Yeah.
really annoying. They weren't going to take Bowers.
Yeah.
They weren't going to take an O lineman. And I think Adunze was their guy too, which
Yeah, the
was
whole
a little
it seemed like it
upsetting.
was lining up.
And I watched Rogers on the Pat McAfee after, and it seemed like he didn't really want an O lineman. He's like, we already signed O lineman, but it helps. It's good.
Yeah.
And then he was talking nicely about Bowers. He was saying so many good things. And I was like, oh my god, it's kind of annoying. But
Yeah.
I think this guy's gonna be a long term stud.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
like
that
Fashawn.
that Penix pick was that
Yeah,
Penix pick was
that was
insane.
mind numbing. Yeah, I like Fashawn as well. Fashawn comes in, depth piece. Tyron Smith hasn't played a full season since 2015. That's almost a
Yeah.
decade. So he's going to probably miss at least 3-4 games. You trust your left tackle as opposed to like Carter Warren or somebody like that. And then it's not the sexy pick, but it's the safe pick. You kind of find your tackle for moving on. And then Corley, I like him as well. Yak
I
God. He is
Oh yeah,
impossible to
he
bring
is
down. So he's a
exactly.
monster. He's kind of a Debo Samuel Gadget guy, which I think will fit well. Could probably be like a Randall Cobb in this offense. Randall Cobb in his prime, not last year, right?
Also, we
Oh, Danny.
the okay, Joe. The Patriots. I saw probably like 15 Patriots fans on my timeline on Twitter freaking out that the Jets took him because they want them to fall 3 more picks to get him.
Yeah,
So stealing him from the Patriots is
it's nice.
another thing.
They
Love
got
it.
Jalen Polk though. He's
Yeah,
solid. I
he's
like
very
Polk a
good.
lot. I
He's
wanted
good.
to, if he would have fell a little bit, the Jets probably could have traded up for him. But I also like the fact that the Jets are patient. They didn't have to get into the first. They got the first pick of the third to get Corley.
Yeah.
Corley went on a lot of top 30 visits. So there was a lot of teams that were viewing him couple teams viewing him in the first round. So to get him in the third round is great value. 4 or 5 games. I'll say 4. I don't think Capitals are going to win Sunday. What about you?
I think I think I don't know. I think
Still feel like
4. But
yeah,
I think if we get the first goal, if we go up 2-0 in that game, I think it even
it's gonna be
1-0.
over.
I think they're just. I know Tom Wilson's going to be going for headshots, but they got to be careful of
Yeah,
that,
that's what I'm a
especially at
little
the end of the
worried about.
game. If this is what I'm hoping happens. I'm hoping that we're up like 3-1, 4-1 going into the end of the game, and Rempe goes with Wilson because I think Rempe will beat like the living shit out of it. He's
Yeah.
got so much height on him.
Height, yep.
I just want to say Wilson is even at the end of the game, he was getting so fast to the puck just because he was
Yeah.
trying to start something. Guy's just such a douchebag. Like there's some players like that, like Marshawn. Like he's a little dirty, but he's a guy I'd love to have on my team.
Yeah.
Wilson, like
I
I
hate
don't
him.
know. Like
Can't stand him.
if he wasn't such a douchebag, like, he's a good player. He's just such an asshole.
Yeah, he's just very unlikable.
Yeah.
There's nothing to like about him. Yeah, that's my biggest concern. It's I guess the negative to being up 3-0 is they're gonna get down final like 5-6 minutes, tempers are gonna flare, it's gonna be like 4-1. Even though Oshie said it was a clean hit, like he's gonna try and probably take a shot at Panarin or
He's a
something
dirty.
like that.
Oshie's a dirty player. He has this whole
Yeah,
like persona that he's like such a nice. He's a dirty
yeah.
player, and Ovechkin's gonna try. When he gets pissed, he's gonna
Oh
try and
yeah.
kill someone.
Especially because he's been non-existent, so
Yeah,
he's gonna be
yeah.
frustrated his own
He
performance. Did he even have a shot tonight?
no, yeah.
Ovechkin,
He
yeah.
had a bunch, but
Yeah,
most of them were. He literally just gets the puck on the power play. If he gets the puck on the power play,
yeah.
just throws it as fast as he can. It
Yeah,
looks
they
like
did have 4 shots tonight. So what
he
that
just
is 5 in
5
3
total.
games.
Not very
What a
good.
performance.
But he's literally just throwing everything right when he gets it because he just is trying to get something.
Mhm.
They've done such a good job shutting him down.
Yeah.
And Oshie was saying before the game, he's like, "Oh, one of the other guys on our power play will score, and then we'll show them, and then they won't be able to cover Ovi like that." And then they proceed to go 0 for 6. So
And
that's
Barkley
one in
Goodrow
his
scores on
face.
their
Yeah,
power play.
exactly.
Um, let's see. Get Franklin too. Yeah, I like Troy Franklin as well. We'll see if the Jets double up on receivers. They've got 3 4th-round picks, so we'll see what they do. Bub's thoughts on losing to Joe and goal picks.
Oof.
Not good. See, I had to make adjustments because Heedle didn't play. If
Wait,
Heedle
how
would have
many
played, I would have been ready.
did you guys just do one per game?
I think so. We're
How
doing
how
one per
many
game.
how many games so far? Like, did you
I
do
think
all
it was
7, if
it was
possible?
yeah.
Okay.
We did no. I think we did 5
Okay.
or 4. I think we might have just did 4 games, but
What's
just
the
in case,
score?
I guess I think it's 2-1 Joe now because he beat me in the regular season because I'm an idiot and I decided to take all the guys that aren't going to score. So I was taking Chad Ruedel to score. I started
What?
taking like Matt Rempe. I got too comfortable. So that was stupid. Today I took Mika. He took Kreider. So that,
Ugh.
messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thoughts?
Tough.
It's not over yet. Playoffs not over yet. We got a long road to go. We're gonna have to be picking for at least like, I don't know, 20 more games.
Yeah,
We're going to
hopefully you
the
guys are
cup.
picking till game 4 of the cup where we get a
Yeah.
sweep.
Joe and men's league better than Ovi.
That one I can attest to. Definitely not true. Joe at one time had a breakaway. No one was even close to him. It was a clear breakaway, and
He missed it.
No. He
Fell.
fell, and the puck went behind the goal line. It was one of the funniest moments I've ever seen. But oh my, I wish that was on video. That was one of the funniest moments of all time.
What's funny about men's league? I've never played hockey in my life, but somebody I know works at a skating rink, so we've been going there a little bit recently. I've been skating a little bit. I'm gonna be in men's league in no time. I'm gonna be men's league. Just I don't even know. Be Panarin in the men's league, except I'll hit the net.
Speaking of
2 points in
about
my
the
playoff game.
Oilers, the Oilers just scored. Zach Hyman. I didn't see how it went in, but I'm guessing it was in front of the net.
Probably
2 points in my playoff game. Okay, we don't care.
2 points in my playoff game. More than Ovi.
True.
We'll give him that.
He's got 2 more points than Ovi's got all playoffs.
Yeah, God, he's just been. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he had 30 goals this year. Like he's washed. He's not the same player,
No.
but to be
Some of those
this
goals,
bad.
they the other Capitals players were forcing him the puck. So there was one where Dylan Strome had like wide open shot in front of the net, just sitting right there, and instead he just passed it off to him, and he somehow Ovi snuck it in. But yeah, they were forcing it so much.
Yeah. What is he? He's
How old is he?
no, I mean like goals. He's what? Is
I think
he
he's like 50.
40,
No,
50
I think
still
he
or
had
40
850.
something?
He had 850 already. I think he's got 851 maybe.
Away.
So what is that? 41 away? 40 something?
That's gonna take him probably 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
Assuming he probably does like maybe 25 next year, 25 the year
Yeah.
after that.
He's not retiring until he does it. But
Yeah,
personally, I think Matthews might break it.
he might.
If he plays a decently long career, I think he's gonna snap. I think he's gonna break it. He is a stud, except for in the
Yeah, I mean,
playoffs.
yeah, you kind of cursed if you go to Toronto for the playoffs. I mean, what Matthews is what 368 already in his career.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
just looked. So
he's got one
69
this
this year.
playoffs. Marner, I've never seen a player that invisible in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Every year with this guy, he's terrible. And then Nylander's got headaches. He hasn't played
yeah,
in the
he's
first
not.
3
Yeah, he's
games.
been.
He played game
Yeah.
82, but hasn't played this game, any of these games, which is kind of crazy. But their goaltending is terrible. Toronto's just I don't know what it is. It's just terrible. But I love
Yes.
seeing it. I hate Toronto.
Yeah, Samsonov is. That would be a favorable matchup for us if we
Oh, I'd love that. But
run into them. But
they're not getting out of there. Yeah.
yeah, they probably won't even get a
Joe
first
said
round.
Bruins in 7. That's
Bruins
what I
7.
predicted. I like that.
Let's see, a girl was pissed I was watching the game. What was that? Like somebody from the school or like a counselor or somebody that
Or was
runs
it a girl
the
graduating?
yeah. We need to know the
Yeah,
specific
we need
details.
context here.
Rangers 21. Come on. Can't leave us on a cliffhanger like this.
That doesn't help, Joe. We said, is it like a teacher or is it was
Graduation.
is it a teacher or is it like another student? I'm gonna guess a student because like the teachers definitely don't care.
Yeah. And they're probably taking selfies anyway, so you could probably have your phone out.
Yeah, exactly.
Why, man? But why? Yeah, but like a student caring, I'd
Also,
just be
like if
like,
I'm at
I wouldn't care
graduation
less.
and someone's doing something on their phone, like I don't care. Like who cares? What I don't know. I fisted pumped when
I fist
Gaudreau
pumped
scored,
when
and a chick
Gaudreau
sitting
scored.
next to me was mad. Well, tell her to
So it was a
tell her.
student. So it was a
Yeah,
student.
yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, why is she mad though? She's got to understand. Gaudreau,
Exactly.
those are. Oh my god, I could picture probably him just sitting there fist pumping the Gaudreau scoring a goal.
Joe, whenever Joe shouldn't scream and celebrate, he does. Like one time we were watching at my house, and I told him to be quiet, and I think it was the game 7 against Carolina when we were up, and then Heedle scores that goal, and I told him
Yeah.
you got to be quiet, and he just gets up and screams. I was like, dude, shh. But like,
Yeah.
that's just Joe.
She was not hot too. That's probably a good thing.
Oh,
Because
Joe, don't expose this girl here.
I fist pumped it to
Blue
when
hair.
Gaudreau scored
Oh
a goal.
God. Now it makes sense.
Oh, blue hair.
now,
Yeah.
now it makes sense.
No more further detail needed at
Yeah,
this time.
we get it.
We got it. Yeah. What does this world come to? Fisted pumped.
Yeah, that's classic Joe grammar for you.
He fisted pumped.
He's too busy watching the brain rot TikToks. He's addicted to those.
Who's better at shell?
Oh, me. You can ask everyone we play with. It's me. It's not even close. But he doesn't play defense, and then whatever. He's a solid goalie though. I'll give him that. He's been
goalie.
Good. You got to play with us one time.
Yeah, we gotta hop on. I told you that I got the Xbox One to play with some people I know, and they all got the Xbox Series X. So
I'm a game time decision on Sunday. I have a finals game. What time do we play on Sunday? 8?
8. Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully that's the last game. Wait, when would game 5 be? Wednesday? Right? Yeah, it can't be Thursday.
I thought it was Tuesday.
Let me look. I'm praying it's not Thursday. Then I couldn't even watch the game.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they would give him 3 days off. It's Wednesday.
Okay, thank God. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully we don't even get to that, so.
Nah, yeah. I don't really want to get to a game 5 because then, if they lose game 5, you get to game 6. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking negative. Just sweep.
No, I'm thinking the same thing. Joe, if your game's at 9, you'll be done by 10, 15. The Ranger game won't be over till like 11.
Man, so the schedule has not broke Joe's way.
If honestly though, if we were up 3-0 and I had a finals game, I'd go to the finals game. If we were like tied, if we were like 2-1 or 1-2, I might be missing that game.
Yeah, well, if the time to miss games is the first round.
Yeah, especially when
not
it's
saying
3-0.
it's playoffs, but the first round I guess is technically the least
100%
important, really. I mean, but yeah, it's 3-0. So it's not like they're down 1-2, or even if they were 2-1.
Yeah.
But it's 3-0 and it's the championship. Is this the men's league?
Yeah. I don't know if
you play in the men's league.
I'm on his team in the summer, but I'm still at school in the spring, so I'm at a different team.
Oh, okay. What position? You defenseman, forward?
No, I play wing. Me and Joe usually play wing together, or he'll play center, and he says not know how to play center.
That's not good. Call him the car
He's
championship.
like,
better have a multi-point game.
He's like early season Gaudreau when he plays center.
Gaudreau in the playoffs or Gaudreau regular season?
Early season
Gaudreau.
I know their championships 2 out of 3. I don't know if they won the first game. I think they.
They actually do a series.
Yeah, in that league, the finals is 2 out of 3. I wish they can't do 4 out of 7, but it would be sick. But yeah, 4 out of 7 in men's league would be nuts.
Picked up the first dub in the men's league softball game the other day.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm usually our season usually starts in mid-May, and it started in April this year, so I'm gonna miss like the whole season. But yeah, softball is fun.
Yeah, We won game 1 10-2.
10-2.
Oh, so
Oh, you didn't even
these
play?
guys stink. Oh, they didn't play.
I
So they're
wonder
not
why they
even
won
good.
10-2 then.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah,
this
it
team
seems
can't
like you
even that
guys are gonna
good.
win game. Wait, how did that team make the finals if you guys are winning 10-2?
10-2.
That's
That's
crazy.
not good for the other team.
Well, hopefully that's like the Ranger game on Sunday, 10-2.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
would like just
win at this point.
win.
Who
Like get
cares?
like a nice 5-1 win and have Rempe knock out Wilson at the end of
Yeah,
the game.
that would that would be fun.
They go at it in the handshake line.
Yeah, let Rempe score one too.
Yeah.
I hope Panarin scores next game. If we're gonna win, give Panarin
Yeah,
some
especially if we're
confidence.
gonna win
Just
especially if we're gonna win in a blowout like
yeah,
5-1 or something.
just get
Panarin
him a
better have
goal.
one of those.
Exactly. Because honestly, I feel like everyone is buzzing besides him. Like he's not terrible, but like
Yeah.
everyone
I
is
mean
playing.
even Mika.
Yeah, dude.
Mika's playing really well.
Just like last guy, Kako is. This guy in the regular season when he wasn't hurt was so slow. He is
Yeah,
he is so fast this playoffs. I don't know what had happened, but he's buzzing. I love it. That one thing we didn't talk about that that one Wenberg giveaway at the end of the second where he just threw the puck in the middle, gave a guy on the
Oh yeah, that
that
was
was
horrible.
that was one of
Yeah,
the
he was
oh my
trying to
god.
get it to like Miller, but Miller
Yeah.
wasn't really there.
That was very risky.
He
But yeah,
passed it right to who was it?
it wasn't McMichael. I think it was one of those lefty forwards.
Yeah, Igor made a really nice play
Igor,
kind of
yeah.
coming out of the net.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wenberg has been good, but I thought the last 2 games he had that
Yeah, he's
one.
been
What was it
iffy.
last game? He
Yeah,
had
that
the
turnover that led to the goal
turnover,
eventually. Yeah.
and then that one was he passed. Yeah, he gave it right to him in front of the net. Yeah,
But
I was
yeah,
gonna make
that
a point to mention. I'm glad you mentioned that.
cool
That was terrible.
Cooley, I think Cooley played well again. He played good.
Yeah,
But yeah, everyone. I think when Heedle comes back, the smart move would be, I don't know, maybe take Rempe out, move Cooley down to the third line, and bring in Heedle. But I guess we'll see what happens.
yeah, it'll be interesting. Is that for game 4? I'm assuming I have laughed. I forget. I probably have laughed game 4.
Kako is going to score game 4. I like that pick. He should have scored today. Lindgren made a great save.
Yeah.
Lafreniere, I like that too, though. He hasn't scored yet.
Wait, no.
Then what is he talking about? What other
Tito for
for Ross?
Roslovic? What? Oh, I guess
That's
you're
what
talking
he
about the
wants. Yeah,
lines, not the game
he's
4.
obsessed with the Heedle for Roslovic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even
I
though
thought Roslovic's
Roslovic
playing
scored
well.
last game, he was buzzing
Yeah.
today. He was so fast.
I mean, the 2-on-1 with Kreider, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I
He
thought he
ended up
looked
getting
good.
a
I thought
chance
the
too
speed,
from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Joe just hates
Roslovic's playing
Roslovic
well.
for some reason. He just hates this guy.
We're just not a Roslovic believer.
Must have denied him a picture or something.
We don't need Heedle. I'm just kidding. We do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep rolling.
No, yeah, right now
until we
lose a
down
game.
Like 3-0,
Exactly. I saw someone on Twitter was like, "Oh, we should let Quick play game 4, give Igor a rest." I was like, "This is the playoffs. You don't do that."
What?
There's no back-to-backs. We even if we lose this game, we get a 3-game break. Like, what are we? 3-day break. Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh my! No way. We're resting goalies in the playoffs.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing now. I was on the Gaudreau train. Just want to say, yes, you were on the Gaudreau train. You called that for about a month that he would score in game 1. He didn't, but he's scoring.
We'll count it.
Yeah, we're making plays.
It's just relieving to see him doing good though. 3.6 million. And, it's just.
He had the one block shot too. He's puts his body on the line. He's been good. He's a good, solid playoff player. He's got he had won the cup in Tampa.
Yeah, me and Joe were talking about it. Trocheck might be the best contract in the NHL. Like bang for your buck. He does because he does everything, and he's what is he 5.5 mil, something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
And fans were complaining about that contract when we would have signed Strome for like 4.5.
Ugh.
Who's don't even get me started. But yeah, I think that contract that guy Trocheck wins every faceoff. Like it is insane. It's so big on the power play too.
Yep. Strome just missed open nets. That's all he did. God, Strome was legitimately one of the most frustrating athletes to watch.
My God. There was in that game 7 versus Carolina, he missed a wide open net. But
I've never seen him in my life. I've never seen somebody do that.
Then he comes down and scores right after. So I was like, finally. But like then the game against Tampa, he misses the puck's sitting right there and he misses it. He was just he had so many open nets in his time with the Rangers, and I don't think he hit one of them.
Wow, he
It
was
was
awful.
yeah,
He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't awful,
he
but
was
he
a
just
solid
missed
player. He
open
just
nets. Yeah,
exactly, which just makes you I just can't
which is a problem.
exactly.
He kind of disappeared though in that Tampa series. Like, I don't even think that Tampa series. I don't even think he scored.
Did he?
I don't think so. I know he had the one goal. I know he had the goal in, I
No, I
think,
don't. Yeah, I
game
don't
two
think he
against
did. I don't
Pittsburgh,
think he did because
and
Mika
then,
scored,
like
like
you said, the
most
goal
of them.
against
Mika
Carolina in
scored
game
2 game
seven.
1. Heedle scored game 1.
Yeah,
That game 1 versus Tampa, I thought we had the cup locked up.
yeah. And then
What
the
was it,
kid line,
6-2? Yeah, that
the
kid
kid line.
line shift.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that
we were
I
pouring it on to Vasi. It was oh
I
my.
random times when I'm bored, I watch just like every goal score, like the video, like every goal scored by the Rangers in the 2022 playoff.
Yeah,
Oh my god, it just pains
those
me to
teams
see
were so
that.
much fun. That team was so
That
much
team,
fun.
honestly, it might be Covian, but I think we would have gotten pumped by the Avalanche that year.
Yeah, they were
They
running out
were
of
so
gas. They were running on fumes.
yeah, like 2 7-game series in a row. It would have been 7 again if we beat Tampa in that game 6.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
I still think though if they go, I still think if they win Game 6 and Stamkos doesn't score that,
Yeah,
they probably I think they go back and win Game 7 at the
so do
Garden.
I. But after 21 games, like
Yeah,
The Avalanche coming off a sweep.
yeah, sweep.
Has a team
Yeah, we would
ever
have gone. The
won?
Avalanche too were kind of destined that year.
Has a team ever won 3 game 7s in a row and then won the cup? There's no way. Like, how could it? I
Uh,
just couldn't. There's no way a team has done that before. I'd have to look it up
you
later.
know what still pains me was
What?
that Game 3 was actually on my birthday, and the
Really?
Rangers took that 2-0 lead, and I
Oh
was
my
like, "We're
god.
winning the cup. There is
I think me
nobody
and Joe are
stopping
watching
us."
that game together. My
Yeah,
brother, he lives down in Florida. He went with my mom, and I'm like, I told you last time, I'm a huge Jinx person.
yeah.
My mom, they go up 2-0. She goes, "Oh, the Rangers are gonna win. They're looking
Oh
good."
my god.
And they come back and score.
And
And
then
my
the
brother's like, "Oh my
Kucherov power
god."
play, goal, everything just crumbled from
Well,
there. And
because
then you had the
after we
freaking
scored,
Stamkos and Palat. Ugh.
Trouba takes down their guy right after we
Yeah,
score, gives them a power play. They go and score. It's like, oh my god, here we go. And then Trouba caused another goal. Trouba, that game was, oh my god, because we
I
could
really
have,
thought that was it.
if we
Like
won that
they
game, we would have won 4 or 5, I would
yeah,
assume, and then we
probably yeah,
honestly could
would have
have
been
won the cup.
3-0.
But
Yeah,
oh my
that
god, it pains me to
yeah.
think about that.
And Igor made what, like 49 saves or something? He faced like 50 something shots in that game.
And then we didn't even get to. We didn't even like. We were hanging on by a thread, and we didn't even get to overtime. We gave up a goal with 40 something seconds left,
Yeah, it
even
was
though we
that
all
was
knew we were going
Palat,
to
right? Yeah.
lose. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, the Oilers just scored again. Wow.
Well, thankfully we're back. What a difference a year makes.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah. Last year, I still think last year's team was good enough. I just think the coaching was so bad.
Yeah. They
Like,
also just I feel like they weren't like physicality wise, they
yeah,
were so like
yeah, that
they were
too.
like scared to hit people.
Kane also was
Yeah,
playing
because
like
they
he was in
couldn't
a
move.
wheelchair. Kane this year was really good,
Yeah.
but
I I think some of last year's team was they kind of just got a bad break. Like the Devils were
yeah.
the worst possible matchup, and they of course get them in round one.
And their backup goalie plays like
Yeah.
Dominic Hasek, and then now he's in the AHL. Like
Yeah,
what? Like what is that luck?
exactly. He was terrible against Carolina.
Yeah. Those first 2 games though against the Devils, I thought we were
I know.
destined.
10 goals. I
And
didn't
there's
care it was a power play. I'm like,
yeah that
this is
Kane
it.
goal. Oh my god, that was
Oh
insane.
yeah.
But once I saw how the Panthers were, even if we made it out of that series, we were not beating the Panthers were not getting beat by any of those Eastern teams. They looked so good last year, and they look just as good again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean
we'll
they're
see what happens, I guess.
yeah. It's it'll be interesting. But yeah, this is our year. This is our year.
I hope
Said
so.
it just
Oh,
feels like our year.
Winnipeg just tied it. Tyler Toffoli finally doing something. He's been
Yeah, I know. He
he's.
disappeared. He was
I watched their last game after we got off the pod after the our podcast last time.
mhm.
That guy, he was literally just doing. He didn't have a one shot. He was literally just doing cardio out there. He was doing the OV of game 1, and
Yeah,
they traded for him too. He was just bad.
I had him in fantasy and he disappeared.
Yeah,
Joe is saying good night, boys. LGR. See you. We'll talk. Yeah, feels nice. Friday
Yeah.
night win.
I was a little nervous that we were gonna have to come on here after losing that and be like, "Oh my god, like 2-1 series," but
Yeah, 2-1.
feels
I would have
good.
been nervous because then you have to go play another game. It's just like,
Exactly, and it's like if you lose that game 4, it's
oh,
2-2, anything could
and then it's
happen.
and then all the pressure's on you because it's like, okay, this
Exactly,
is literally 2022 and 2023 all over again.
exactly, and then the doubts in the back of your head, but now it's
Yeah,
just don't be the 5th team ever to give up a 3-0 lead. So
yeah,
just
yeah,
win that one of the next 2 games, everything, who cares?
yep. Win them. Take care of business.
Exactly.
Ideally, at latest, this series should be over Wednesday night. At latest.
100%.
So anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for everybody stop by, Joe, as well. We will talk to you Sunday night,
Sunday night, yeah.
and
It'll be a later
hopefully,
one. It'll be
yeah,
at like
that'll be
11,
late.
but
I don't know why
8
Sunday
PM on a
night,
Sunday for an
8 p.m.
Eastern
on a
hockey
Sunday is a
game.
terrible idea.
Yeah, I don't
But
understand that, but we'll be
here
there.
we are. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be here. We'll be talking, and hopefully we'll be previewing or getting ready for Carolina. We can officially move past this series hopefully Sunday night. So talk to you then. Thanks for tuning in.